the budget is happening, right? But the transportation budget is a separate beast. And, transportation funding, the different sources, they're very thoroughly defined in state law. So the transportation budget happens sort of on an island. Well, the Senate has now passed its transportation budget, which includes a 6 cent per gallon increase in the gas tax. So add that to like the already, 49 cents or something. And then on top of that, whatever the Climate Commitment Act adds to a gallon of gasoline. And we're paying so it's 6 cents per gallon. Right now, the gas tax is 49 cents a gallon. Good grief. So if this goes into law, you'll be paying in just flat gas tax 55 cents a gallon, just in taxes, okay? And then, of course, on top of that, whatever the CCA is adding, which at times has been up to 50 cents a gallon because of the Climate Commitment Act. And then beginning July 1st, 2026, the total state motor vehicle fuel tax rate will increase by inflationary adjustment, a factor of 2% each year, which will compound annually. Great. So look, I love to blame the Democrats for things, obviously, because they're the ones in charge. But this proposal actually has bipartisan support. So we have a Republican senator on the show with us today to talk about why he supports it. This segment is brought to you in partnership with our friends over at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org. I know they're kicking out info on a lot of opportunities to raise holy hell right now. So make sure you sign up for their newsletter. So State Senator Curtis King is the Republican from the Yakima area, and he's sort of the lead on the Republican side, working with State Senator Mark Elias, a Democrat, putting together the transportation package. And I saw, Nicole and I were seeing last week, all these Democrats saying, oh, the gas tax increase is bipartisan. Oh, the gas tax increase is bipartisan. I'm like, bipartisan who? I was like, what? Demand to know what Republican supports that and why. Well, it turns out Senator Curtis King helped State Senator Mark Elias craft this transportation package. And so I asked him to come on the show and explain to us why he thinks we need a 6 cents a gallon increase in the gas tax.
The gas tax is the biggest source of funding for transportation. Has been, it's declining, but it has been for many, many years. Since the transportation budget started. So as we looked at what are our options, where can we make the biggest bang for the buck? What can we do? And it was gas tax. And yeah, I know that the gas prices are high. I know that there's reasons for that. I unfortunately can't control all of those things. But so as I looked at how do we move forward, I was willing to accept a gas tax increase. It's 6 cents. It is something that would allow us to address the shortfalls that we have in maintenance and preservation, which are in the billions. It would help us address our safety issues, a lot of our safety issues. We've gone from, I don't know the exact number, but 400 plus deaths on our highways. In 2024, it was 810. So I said, we got to do something. And when you, to your point, when you talk to people about why do we have to increase the gas tax, it's because that's how we fund and have funded transportation for the last 100 years. And so when you say, and here's what we're going to do it, because gas tax money is protected by, I believe it's the 18th Amendment, which says it can only be used for roads, bridges, and highways, which is where our biggest needs are coming from. And so that's why I was willing to look at a gas tax, why I was willing to support a gas tax. It's 6 cents. It's that's substantial, but it isn't, in my opinion, overwhelming. I buy gas every week, usually twice a week, because I usually try to get home on the weekends, so I do a lot of traveling. I have seen the price of gas go from less than $3 to a little over $4, back to $3.50. I think I paid $3.39 or $3.40. Next week I'm going to pay $3.60, and the week after that I'm probably going to pay $3.20. I mean, it is over the board, up and down, every week, every day, just about.
Well, you tell me where you're getting gas because I got gas for $4.60. So are you getting it before you come on this side of the Cascades or what?
I am, yes. I
Smart
bought it
man.
at Costco. Just if you want me to say, I bought it at Costco and in Union Gap.
All
So
right. So if you just pick up some, fill up some tanks, and then on your way through, if you could drop some off for those of us who are paying far more than that. So what I'm understanding here, and just to be reasonable,
no,
law
no.
and the state constitution gives you very few tools in your belt to be able to go to for revenue, for transportation. And I understand that. Forgive me, but where the hell is the CCA money going? I mean, they're getting hundreds of millions of dollars, Senator, much of that coming from people at the gas pump who have had to pay at times up to 50 cents extra a gallon for the Climate Commitment Act. Shouldn't you guys be overflowing with money for roads and bridges and stuff? Or are you excluded from using that?
We are, well, from a Republican standpoint, I would say we're pretty much excluded from using that. When the CCA was passed, they said that money can only be used if you are addressing loss, or what is the word? Um,
Carbon emissions?
Carbon emissions. You're addressing reduction in emissions in the state. That's the only thing it can be used for.
And we know
So
that that's not what it's being used for. We know a small
I
percentage are going to programs that actually do that.
I understand that thoroughly, and it's going to programs. It's gone to things that if you go back and look at they spent the money. What are the results? They're not. They haven't improved anything. But I would point out to you, and this isn't an excuse, because I'm the one that said I would do this, and if people want to be upset with me, they can. I did it because I thought it was the best way to represent the people that I represent, and also represent the people in the state of Washington. But that CCA money is in just untouchable. The Democrats, who have 30 Democrats in the Senate and 19 Republicans. We don't have a whole lot of say about where it's going at this point in time. We have tried. We have said, as an example, we're going to build a new bridge across the Columbia at Hood River. The bridge that's there now definitely needs to be replaced, but we're going to add a bike and pedestrian path to that new bridge. They told us that they would only pay for, out of CCA, they would only pay for the electrical part of the ferry, the batteries. That's all. They weren't going to pay for the whole ferry. They were just going to pay for that electrical part because that's where all the emissions were being saved. And I said, okay, if that's the way you want to look at it, then what about my bike and ped path that we're adding to the Hood River Bridge? Because that's going to save emissions. That's going to do all these good things that you like to do. So can't CCA help us pay for part of that?
And
And the answer was no, Senator. That's just part of the bridge. So this is what we're dealing with. And I would tell you, and I'll give Senator Leas a lot of credit. He is now considering that those two, what I would say are very similar things, and seeing if that isn't a possibility that maybe we could make that change with CCA. He hasn't committed to that yet, but he's open to having those conversations. That's why I got involved. That's why I said I'm willing to do this. I know people don't like new taxes, but if I can assure them that we're going to use this money, particularly the gas tax, to improve our roads, improve our bridges, make our highways safer, I think they would support me.
well, it sounds like you haven't been left with much of a choice. I mean, the idea, the example you gave is a perfect example. How could you tell me you can't take those CCA funds and use it for something like that when it's drivers who are paying in the vast majority of that to, offset the cost of the fuel companies that had to pay the climate for the climate credit.
Right,
So
right.
it's just insane. And I hope that Senator Leas is serious about considering that. I mean, I want the CCA to go away, but if it's not, which it probably isn't, then some of it should be able to be used to offset not have to raise our taxes at the pump. So, well, Senator King, I appreciate the thorough explanation. Please say hello to your legislative staff. We know they're fans of the show, so that makes them incredibly smart, and they're just so nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for updating us.
Oh, well, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to explain as best I can about what we're trying to accomplish here. And I thank you for everything that you do. And we want you up here in Olympia. We want you to have access that you would like to any place you want to go. So thank you very much.
Well, that makes one side of the aisle. Thank you, Senator King. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Senator King referring to the Democrats trying to keep me out of the wings in Olympia. So luckily the Republicans have taken steps to allow me in the wings, which is very nice. Look, I kind of understand the situation that he's in. I mean, I'm of two minds about it. So first of all, Democrats are going to pass what they want to pass with or without Republicans. They do not need any of the votes from Republicans to be able to pass it. That being said, they really do limit the ability to pay for transportation projects to the gas tax. So the tools that you can use to fund transportation projects are very limited. It is ridiculous that CCA money would not be able to be used for those things because we're paying into the CCA. That's happening to us at the gas pump. So if the CCA is coming down on us at the gas pump, drivers, why would we not be able to use that to supplement the transportation budget so you don't have to come back to us for a 6 cent a gallon increase? And by the way, the House transportation budget is 9 cents. They want 9. So, I mean, could Senator King just say, no, I'm not raising taxes. You guys can't spend responsibly, pass this budget on your own? I suppose. And it sounds like he's trying to get them to open up some of the CCA money for transportation funding so they don't have to continually raise the gas tax. But, I mean, I will say that Democrats are going to excuse this and continue to use it, it's bipartisan. It's bipartisan. It's like, well, why don't you guys open up some money from the CCA so that we don't have to keep reaching into people's pockets at the gas pump? All right, that segment was brought to you in partnership with our friends at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org. Make sure you sign up for their newsletter to be alerted to opportunities to do just that.